Hi everyone, welcome to the Media Day here at the O2 for the Unibet Premier League, and we've got Super Chin with us. Daryl, your first time here participating as a player at the O2, how does that feel?
It probably still hasn't sunk in yet until we get into the practice room tomorrow, and then it all starts, obviously the big build-up. But looking forward to it. Amazing venue. I still don't have a clue how many people come to this. Obviously it's rammed, but I couldn't tell you if it was 10,000 or 20,000. But looking forward to it, and obviously as you says there, first time playing here, but I was here 2 years ago, and there was a good buzz then.
The emotions calmed down from last weekend yet? Obviously because you were on cloud 9 having qualified. What's it like now? Is it all back to normal?
Oh, it's all back to normal. I mean, we went and done that exhibition on the Saturday, and after Friday night I played well on the Friday night, and then I was just off a wee bit on the Saturday. I don't know if I was that hyped up that it got me through Friday night. But Saturday wasn't at my best, but still had a good game with Gary, and he was lucky to get that win. But I'll get him back the next time. But it's all calmed down now.
Play MVG again in the semi-final. Your head-to-head record over the last 3 televised appearances is exceptional, shall we say. Looking to make it 4?
I'd love to make it 4, but obviously that's one of the last 3 games. Obviously I think we played over 15 times, and he's still got a healthy lead against me. But hopefully I can make it 4 times. But you just if the Michael van Gerwen turns up, the average is 120. We're all going to be in trouble.
The way you play, is he one of the ones that struggles to play against you because you're not slow, but your pace very methodical, and he can't shift that? Is that one of the keys to the game?
I think that's probably why I've got better against him. I wouldn't say. I mean, I'm not beating him with 110 averages or 120 averages, so I'm not going to be screaming from the rooftops. But I have slowed my pace down because it's unbelievable how Michael froze, how fast he froze whenever you're in the middle of the game with him. So I've actually calmed down to my pace, and I've got better, and that's probably what's given me the opportunity to get these games a bit closer and then beat him. But it's all about my timing, because before I was like in behind him and he would have been nearly pulling his dart away, and I would have been nearly throwing my first dart, so I would have been too fast, too eager. So I've just slowed myself down a wee bit.
As well, the race to get here to the O2, everyone talks about the Gerwen price game. I'm going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it for a different reason now. That point that you got that night, was that the pivotal moment that got you to the O2?
100%. At the end of the day, whenever they say to me, over the 8 points, you won 7, I mean, obviously the wins were good, but that point got me here. He takes out that 146, or I miss that 64 and he goes out. You're talking the Gerwen price right now, not me. So that 64 was probably the biggest finish I've hit all year. And as it says in the interview, it was probably the biggest game for me and Gerwen this year so far. And I was lucky to get a point out of it and be standing talking to you now.
When you look back across the 16 weeks, have you got a favourite high memory and maybe not a low memory that you look back on?
Well, I would say those, them prior 2 results I had against Rob and James whenever it was 7-1 and 7-0. I would have killed a lot of, well, not killed, that's a bit of a scream. I would have ruined dart players' confidence, and I'm one of these players that didn't give up. And after them 2 results, I would love to have seen what the odds were for me to qualify for the O2, even though if you told me it's double Dutch because I don't bet or gamble anyway. But I bet you would have been good. And so they're obviously the lowest. But highs was probably playing in Rotterdam and getting all points there. They keep myself in the hunt. I know it wasn't a great game against Barneveld, but they play Raymond there in front of his home crowd. Doesn't matter about the result, but the atmosphere was unbelievable.
As well, we spoke at the media day in Newcastle before it all kicked off, and we were talking about the Contenders because no one really knew what was going to happen or how it was going to play out. What did you think of the Contenders, and how do you think the Contenders conducted themselves across the 8 weeks they played?
I think it was a big success. I think, all honestly, I think we may do it again next year. Both ways, I think it was great having new faces there. Obviously, having the local players there. I mean, for Chris Dobie, and then obviously John Henderson was probably, I don't know, was that probably the best walk-on of the whole year. And then obviously all them 180s and water flying everywhere. So, I mean, I think it was brilliant. But then I thought to myself, well, you only have to think on one person to get relegated instead of two. So I'm thinking there's an extra couple of pounds in the bank account. All you have to do is worry about one player than two. So that was good both ways.
As a player, where does the Premier League sit in the whole grand scheme of things? Obviously, the World is the pinnacle, but after that, where do you think the Premier League sits? Because obviously, where it's not ranked, people have got different opinions, and it's divided opinion.
I would say if it was ranked, it's going to be the one below the World Championships. But because it's not, you have to just put it it's probably bigger than the other tournaments that you put it behind. But you have to probably just put it just behind the majors, and then probably because obviously it's unranked. But which is probably fair because obviously there's only 10 players in it, and the other say top 16 players, and you've got the top 10 in it, and then the other 6 players it's on. No, it's not good for them, obviously, because they can't make no money or ranking points out of it. So I would say it would probably come, obviously after the Worlds, the Match Play, Grand Prix, UK Open, and then maybe the Premier League. But if you won it, if I won it and was never World Champion, I would say it was better than the World Championships.
Daryl, thanks very much. We wish you all the very best tomorrow here at the O2, and thanks for joining us, mate, as always.
Not a problem, anytime.